Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. Welcome back to another preview video, and I must apologise, I moved house on Wednesday. I was taking stuff out of boxes all day yesterday, and then I worked last night, so I am on the ground in Sheffield already for Blades versus Nottingham Forest, and we're going to try and fit in the predictions video. I thought better to get something out than nothing at all. I've done as much research as I can, but I'm kind of freestyling today, so hopefully I can still give you guys a good look into today's games. Obviously we're coming into the Easter weekend, mad period, 2 games in 4 days, and after this there's only 2 games remaining, so certainly big things about to happen for some teams. People say you can't win it here, but you can certainly throw it away, so some advantages going to be taken and given. The title's still up for grabs, autos still up for grabs, couple of playoff places still up for grabs. Relegation, we're probably only down to 1 place left down the bottom of the table. Let's start at the top. Norwich versus Sheffield Wednesday, and it's quite simple this today. Sheffield United lose, Norwich win. Norwich can be promoted today, but we know things can swing the other way, but that will be the dream scenario for the Canaries. They have drawn the last 2 games against Reading and against Wigan, so bit of a drop off for Norwich, but the key thing for them, they have matched 3rd place Sheffield United, who have also drawn their last 2, so they still have that big 7-point lead. They're trading off that brilliant winning streak, 8 wins on the trot I think it was, so still looking really on the verge of it, Norwich. We think it's going to happen sooner rather than later, unless there is the mother of all collapses, which I don't think is really going to happen, is it? I saw Steve Bruce at Wigan. I was at Wigan Norwich last week, so he will have seen what Wigan tried to do to stop Norwich. Very high press, stopping the fullbacks, maybe targeting Jamal Lewis there for a bit of physicality at left back. We'll see what he's learned later today. Buendia still out, his 3rd game of his ban. Daniel Farke's gone for Todd Cantwell the past couple of games. He's quite a loyal manager, doesn't tend to take people out without glaring good reason, but we may see a switch today. Possibly could use Vrancic or Leitner, somehow reconfigure that. Maybe McLean goes further forward. We'll see what he comes up with, or whether he just keeps it the same, rides it out, waits for Buendia to come back in and just sticks him in for the last couple of games. For the Canaries will want to just see themselves over the finish line. Obviously, Jordan Rhodes is owned by Sheffield Wednesday, so he will not be playing today. Sorry, someone's just parked really close to me. Do you have to park that close? It looks like I can still get out. Adam Reach will also not be around for Sheffield Wednesday. He of the golden period at the start of the season. I suspect Steve Bruce, if you gave him 0-0 right now, would be thank you very much, and we'll take that. So there could be some struggle for Norwich today. If they're not on it, I would suspect Wednesday won't press quite as hard as Wigan did, but they've got some canny operators in there. It looks like Bruce has gone back to the more experienced players that Josh Lukai didn't seem interested in for Sheffield Wednesday. We will see how it pans out. They have got quality, I suppose. Bannon has got great quality in the centre of midfield. I would suspect, I think it'll be quite tight. I think Bruce will try and shut it down, but I think we'll see a similar, won't say a similar game because they won't play like Swansea, but similar outcome. I think Norwich will just have enough to get a goal or 2 and push Wednesday aside. I'm not sure whether they'll be promoted today, though. I can't see Forest getting too much at Sheffield United. But anyway, spoiler alert, we'll come on to that. So I'm going to go for a Norwich win today. In second place, primed in second place now, Leeds United. Leeds versus Wigan today. Leeds taking that second spot. They're 3 points clear, so they now have margin for error. Even if the Blades can win all their remaining games, Leeds can still have the odd little slip in there. Liam Cooper not going to be around today, so maybe not on Monday either. At Brentford, it was Berardi, a right back, Ayling, a right back, Alioski, a left winger, and Janssen, the one centre half, playing in the back four for Leeds last time. But I'm sure they will be fine. We see Phillips dropping in between and helping them out quite a lot as well. So I'm sure they'll cope with Cooper not being about today. He's not 100% ruled out, but Bielsa was very much hinting at it without saying it. Wigan were good against Norwich, but Wigan at the DW is very different than Wigan away. I don't know whether they'll play quite so aggressively with that confidence. Hey, there's no reason why they shouldn't, but there's obviously something in this home-away disparity for them. Ellen Road is going to be ram-packed, and just these past two games against Millwall and against Sheffield United, it's like the crowd have just surged Leeds forward in these home games. Like they've just been destined to go on and score in the second half and get the wins, and that has been what's happened. We're going to still up to their necks in it. Despite that good performance against Norwich, you do need those 3 pointers. 21st place, 2 off Rotherham, so they could end the day in the bottom 3 if things do not go well. That is the risk for the teams down there. I cannot see anything other than a Leeds win today. I think Wigan are a totally different proposition away from the DW, as I said. So I know they held Norwich, but I just don't see them being able to go to Ellen Road. And that swarm of attacking that you're going to see, Hernandez been brilliant all season. Bamford will probably keep his place ahead of Ruth. They've now got options off the bench, Clark, Forshaw, players of that nature. So it's all set up, I think, for a Leeds win. So I'm going to go for a Leeds victory, quite predictably, going with the higher teams here. The game I'm going to be at very soon is Sheffield United versus Notts Forest up here. The Blades, yeah, they've had a bit of a slip up since the international break, losing obviously to Bristol City. Did get that good win over Preston, wasn't it? Then drew with Birmingham, and then heartbreaking late draw against Millwall. So maybe they'll feel they've got their slip out the way and they'll charge, and others will have their slip. But they're 3 points off. Look, it's not over yet. It's not over. We know Leeds have got to go to Brentford in that big game against Villa. What Sheffield United need to make sure they do is they have to put the pressure on. They have to win. They play ahead of Leeds most weeks, I think, and they're playing ahead of Leeds and Norwich today. They've got to get the 3 points on the board early at 12:30 here in Sheffield. Chris Basham is going to be out. That shouldn't be a massive issue. Craney has come in and done well when Basham's not been there. Indeed, in that famed Leeds away win, Basham was there in midfield, and Craney comes in, sorts out there. John Egan suspended for 1 game. Sorry, I got that wrong on my... I think there was some confusion that it was going to be 3. Only out for the 1 game, denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. You'd think Stearman will be the big lump at the back, heading things away. I know Egan's more than that, but essentially he's the one Sheffield United player who does stay in position and not shoot up the pitch in this exciting Chris Wilder system. So I would expect those two to be the changes. Jack O'Connell just getting back to fitness. There up front, Billy Sharp not fit. He's just tweeted he'll be a fan again today, not a player. So I'm interested to see what Wilder does. I know there was some jiggery-pokery. There's Medine, there's McGoldrick, and there's Hogan. 2 from those 3 up front. Possibly could even use McGoldrick in the 10 position, although that would be very attacking. Big chance for Scott Hogan if he can get in and get the minutes today to make an impact with his loan signing here at Sheffield United. Forest are in a bit of a mess. I keep saying Martin O'Neill's got this sort-out job. This is the issue when you turn over managers as regular as Forest do. They have to do this sorting out business. They were looking okay for the playoffs, and it's been a horrible week. I think they lost all 3 of their games in the 3-game week, and the narrative I had, the similar Wigan-type narrative, Forest, don't worry, they'll win at home. Even if they're struggling away, they'll still keep up. They obviously lost at home to Blackburn last time out. So Forest not in a good spot. So my prediction here is that the Blades can get this done. If they don't win today, then you can consider this a big slip by Sheffield United, and they really need to get back round for a playoff campaign. Chris Wilder is going to want a big first half, get this done, put the pressure on the other teams, get momentum back, and then maybe you start to add Egan, then Basham, then Sharp back into this team, and all of a sudden things look very different rather than maybe a little fall off. Remember, though, big picture, Sheffield United have come up from League One. No parachute money, no Premier League money in sight for years and years and years for Sheffield United. It's been a great season. We must not forget that. Team that's not really had a good season but could salvage it with a promotion is West Brom. They're at home to Hull. I've said all season they should be higher up, and their players maybe bail them out of a definitive strategy, particularly under Darren Moore. He's now gone. And their last game against Preston was kind of a clear example of this. Just some real quality. They win 4-1. Dwight Gale hat-trick in that one. Rodriguez with the other. Those 2 strikers, 21 goals each, I believe. That shows the quality they've got up there. They can still do this. James Shum will now be manager for the rest of the season. Alex Neil re-signed with Preston, a 3-year deal. I think that might have been their top guy who they wanted. So Sean is going to see it through. And my question is, can these West Brom players in a playoff game, because that's what's probably going to happen, that's what's definitely going to happen, can these players upset a team? Maybe Villa more of a team, Leeds, Sheffield United, whoever drops down, more of a team. Even Bristol City, more of a team at the moment. Can those West Brom players see them through to a promotion? We will find out. Another excellent West Brom player is back, Matt Phillips. He came off the bench last week. He adds to their just tons of quality they have got there. Hull 5 off the playoffs. They'd won 3 on the bounce. They've got a trickier run now, so they'll probably stabilise into 8th to 12th position if they finish there. Nigel Adkins has done a very nice job. And I think the West Brom players are going to see them through again. I know I'm going heavy on home teams here, home wins. Difficult to make predictions when you've got all of the top teams all playing at home against lesser opposition. So I'm going to have to go West Brom in this one as well. Moving on, Bolton versus Aston Villa. Villa are on fire. 8 wins on the trot. Can they make it 9 today? They won without Jack. No Grealish last week. He was poorly. Will we see him today, or will Dean Smith even say, look, we're going away to Bolton, they're likely relegated today, and give Jack a bit more of a rest? I think not. I think we'll probably see Grealish. Abraham off with a hamstring last week, so they're not going to want to overwork that muscle. I suspect we'll see him back as well. So full strength for Villa. Seem to have found balance. Now El Ghazi, Adoma, Mings balancing things up when they had that run of poor results leading up to that madcap Sheffield United draw, and then Grealish coming back. They didn't look like they had any balance and not going well, but they're in great form at the moment. Villa 5-point gap on 7th. The games are running out now. Just a win today, keep that gap up. 3 games to go and playoffs nearly secured, and a possible West Brom Villa playoff semi-final, 4th against 5th. We may well see that. Bolton have agreed now in principle that Lawrence Bassini will take over from Ken Anderson. I hope for you Bolton fans that that is an improvement, because it's obviously been disastrous this season, a bit chaotic and embarrassing, frankly, at times at Bolton. So that's more important. Bolton are likely to be relegated by the end of today. It would be miraculous win streak for them and a losing streak for 2 other teams. Literally one wins all their games and the other 2 lose all their games. So I think Bolton are really on the verge. They lose today and they're down. Even a draw, I think they mathematically can still get the 42 points that Wigan and Millwall have, but not going to happen, I don't think, and the goal difference is massive as well. And I think Bolton will be down by the end of today because Villa are just going to create too many chances in this game, and I think they're going to go to the Macron Reebok City of University of Bolton Stadium, whatever. Stop changing the names of football stadiums. Idiots like me can't remember. Villa for the win today there. Right, moving on, I'm going to freestyle this, try and move the video on. Bristol City versus Reading. Something on it at both ends of the table here. Bristol City still holding that 6th position, but only 1 point in it, I believe. Bristol City, they've had a really good run, difficult games as well, and they just went under in that hard game away at Villa last week. They're on a good run, like I say. So are Reading, though. Of those bottom 6 teams, Reading have really done the most to fight and get out of it. I still contend that their finishers are getting them through, but that's fine. Win by whatever means you can, and then maybe Jose Gomez can push on a bit next year, will be what he wants to do. But hey, they've got to get out of this, and it's a couple of difficult games. I believe it's West Brom visiting the Madejski on Easter Monday, so potentially Reading could have a 0 or a 1 off these 2 games added onto their points total, and could be in the bottom 3 in 2 games time. So we'll see. Despite, I mean, that would be unlikely. More likely they could get sucked back down into it. That obviously relies on those few teams below them sticking some points on the board. I think Reading can score at Bristol City, but I think Bristol City are going to have too much for them. This is either going to be like 2-2 or Bristol City are going to win. Not much in it. I think Reading might get a point, strangely, or will they? I don't know. I'm struggling to call this one. Let's go for a scoring draw. I just think Bristol City have got it in them to not win this, and Reading have got it in them to score. Let's go for a weird scoring draw. Buck the trend here. Borough versus Stoke is probably not going to be a scoring draw. 2 managers here that kind of like a 0-0 or a 1-0 and a clean sheet. Borough fighting back though. Horrible losing streak for Borough. I think they lost 6 on the trot, and they've won the last 2 and clean sheets in both of them. So maybe they can shoot back into the playoffs. Stoke looked like they're stabilised. They had all those 0-0s. Then they got the win at Blackburn, and then poor performance and 2 red cards over at Swansea, and they let Rotherham come back into it from 2-0 up last week. So just not quite getting on the front foot with this it's expensively assembled squad here. Nathan Jones. It's either going to be 0-0 or 1-0 to Borough, possibly 1-0 to Stoke. Let's go for a draw here. I don't think there's going to be a decisive result in this one. Defences are going to be on top, and I just think Fry is not going to be around. Friend is not going to be around. Ayala is not going to be around for Borough, so I think Stoke can score in this one. Maybe a 1-1. Maybe I'll change my mind on that. So let's go for a draw. On that one, Blues versus Derby. Birmingham soldiering on, small squad. 9 points deduction, real horrible run of hard games, and they're just pushing away now. Their games eased up. They got a draw at my team, Ipswich, last week. They are soldiering on. Adams and Jutkovic. A couple of goals in recent weeks for him as well after a fair while. Derby, strange team, Derby. Quite inconsistent. Since Mason Mount came back, we thought that would be the barometer. They smashed 6 past Rotherham. Then they had a 3-3, or did they lose to Blackburn first? Those 2 results, I can't remember what order they happened in. I think they lost to Blackburn first. Then a 3-3, so loads of goals. Then 4-0 they won last week. Forgive me, I can't remember who against, but Mount got a hat-trick in that one. So it's a bit hotchy-potchy, better at home than they are away, scoring lots of goals. Blues score lots of goals as well with that really good front 2. I don't know whether Derby can go there and win. I think they're going to go there and score. Lawrence, Waghorn, Mount, Bennett, all working well in that team. I think this one's going to be a scoring draw again. Maybe Adams to get back on the score sheet for Blues. Let's go for a scoring draw. Blues versus Derby. That will not help Derby's playoff push. They've got that game in hand, but they really need to put 3-pointers on before that game, which is against Swansea, I think, as we go into the very last week. So they still won't have played that after the next 3 games. So they really need that game to be worth something so they can push Derby. I think they're going to draw today. Preston versus Ipswich, complete dead rubber, I think. This one, the big news obviously for Preston, we mentioned earlier in the video, Alex Neil signing that new deal for Preston. Maybe they'll try a couple of guys out. Maybe Big Stockley will actually get a start. He's been fed in quite gently, as Preston tend to do so. Ipswich are relegated officially. They were last week, drawing at home to Birmingham. We know Paul Lambert has started to push in youngsters with a view to next season. Emmanuel maybe at right back. We may see Kenlock's maybe locked down a left-back position. And Ciala's getting more game time maybe with view to next season. He said in a press conference, Corey Ndaba might get a debut. Idris El Mazzouni, you've probably never heard of all of these players, but you can see where Ipswich are at. They're trying to get things sorted. Who are they building around? Alan Judge confirmed for next season as their team to hopefully, from my point of view, make a challenge into League One. I don't think Ipswich will get anything today. I think Preston, even though they've been on a losing streak, will target this game, excuse me, and think, right, let's get back to winning ways. Probably not blood too many inexperienced players, and Alex Neil's going to want to win to celebrate his new contract. So let's go for a home win here for Preston. This one is certainly not a dead rubber. It's Swansea versus Rotherham. Now, Swansea are on the beach. Rotherham are very much not on the beach. And if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I do well being balanced, but I'm kind of shamelessly becoming a bit of a Rotherham fan in this chase. I just think, and I do love Millwall down there as well, I have to say, but I just love what Rotherham do. I love their honesty. They know what they are, who they are as a club. They have a very certain philosophy. You may not call it the most expansive type football, but given their salary and what they're fighting against and how broken the Championship is, from the most moneyed teams to the least moneyed teams, I think we need teams like Rotherham to survive and kind of wave the flag for this ridiculous division, and one team getting 45 million for being relegated against a team like Rotherham who do their absolute best. It's just, the disparity is incredible. I know we're never going to be able to do anything about it while the Premier League pulls in its billions, but hey, big rant, but let's be a bit biased and hope Rotherham gets something, although I hate to say it, draws aren't that much good for Rotherham. They need to win, and they're not going to have much possession in this game. Swans are probably the team that like possession the most. Rotherham, the team, maybe along with Birmingham, that at least bothered about having possession, and they use what they have very, very well. It's going to be hard for the Millers. I hope they can get a point or a win. It's going to be hard for them to get a win. Let's go for Rotherham to just stick another point on and hopefully squeeze on. They know we're going to go in off to Leeds. They know Reading are going to Bristol City. And we're going to talk about Millwall in a minute. Millwall probably got the most preferable game there at home here. So let's go for a draw in this one. Finally, it is Millwall versus Brentford. Millwall in the thick of it as well. They're on 42 points. They've got that game in hand, but it is against Bristol City, and we never know what the hell they're going to do. Now, Brentford are on the beach, big style, so maybe they're a bit of a lame duck. Again, very similar in styles to the Swansea Rotherham thing, where one team will be happy without the ball, one team will want it the whole time. I think Brentford can score, but maybe this is the one for Millwall where they can beat up on that young back three, Janvier, Konsa, Sørensen if Barbe is not around. I think Millwall can score at least one in this one, so let's go for a vital Lions win to pull them up to 45 points and maybe leave Wigan and Wigan and Rotherham battling it out down the bottom there. We know Millwall are not going to want to go into that last game away at Wigan with anything riding on it. Sorry, I did miss out. QPR versus Blackburn. This has got dead rubber all over it. John Eustace got his first win, that weird 4-0 win over Swansea. I don't think Swansea's defending particularly helped them in that one. Blackburn have had a couple of good results recently, so they'll think they can do something in this one. Let's sit on the fence and go for a draw. What I would like to say is sorry for not managing to get a live stream out. I've got no internet in my new house, and frankly I haven't had a minute to do anything, so I hope the standard of this video was still good enough for you subscribers. Just did some scribbling on a pad and kind of used my memory, so I hope there's been enough insight for you to give me a thumbs up in the comments. Fact check anything I've said. I always say that, and hit me up in the comments. Just be polite about it, and we all work together on this channel, pooling knowledge. A lot of brilliant fans, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm trying to do something quite special today, so look out on the channel. There's gonna be a Sheffield United Forest review coming out. I can't even think, 12:30, couple of hours, 3 hours after that, maybe sort of 3:30 sort of time, and then there may be another one later today, so keep checking up on the channel. Bear with me while I'm in the throes of new house and sorting out internet and going back and forth and whatnot. Hopefully I can still keep a decent standard of content for you guys. I'm sure you'll tell me if it's not. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into this. It's going to be a brilliant Easter weekend. Hopefully there's still stuff up in the air, but there could be some decisive things. Title, automatics, playoffs and relegation. Maybe we'll be coming back after Monday and saying, ticked off, that's sorted, that's sorted, that's sorted. For the neutral, we hope there's not, but for you supporters, maybe Norwich supporters, maybe Bolton supporters, some decisive stuff. West Brom might be confirmed playoffs as well. We shall see. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the weekend.